Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Tuesday. How's your week going? How's the weather? If you're here in the North State, it's been pretty crazy. We had almost 80 degrees on Friday, then down to, I want to say it didn't even hit barely 50 on Saturday with rain and snow in the mountains, and now it's cool and windy. And then by Saturday when I go to that craft fair to participate in, it's going to be 94. So hello. Oh, the joys of living in the North State. So if you join me today, be sure to say hello. If I don't say anything, please don't take it personally. I have a hard enough time walking and chewing gum at the same time. So, there's that. Anyway, Chloe, go lay down. She's going to try and be boisterous here in a minute. Hopefully today's goes a little bit smoother than last week. It looks like my phone stand is starting to drag here a little bit. Close your eyes and lift it up a little bit. Okay, so let me see here. Go lay down. And let me show you. Oh, we're already off to a good start. Okay, these are the sets that I'm playing with today. Mostly this one I'm just using the flowers here, these couple little flowers right here. But look at these dies. These are out of the brand new catalog. Let's see if I can get this opened up. Here we go. And then this one is purely an image set. And then this one has some of the cutest sentiment tags. So this one, when you die cut it, the frame is a separate die cut than the center. And I've been layering it on this die here. This one is the same. It die cuts this little rectangle and then saves this little scalloped edge. And the same with this one. And I'm going to show you how I use that on my scrapbook layout here in just a second. And then here are these other frames. Just fun, beautiful frames. And then there are tons of sentiments on this set. So let me show you my scrapbook layout. And I have to say, this has got to be one of my most favorite layouts I've done in a long time. I just love everything about it. So I started with a basic black 12 by 12 bottom. It's retired, but hopefully when they start bringing in more scrapbooking items, they'll bring that back, as well as individual packs of 12 by 12 for each color. I had so much fun with this. I created this in my Cricut. It was a file already in Design Space, but I die cut. There is a mat, and then I used some of the Designer Series paper for the background, and then more basic black for the letters. And little tip here. What I've done is I took my 12 by 12 and I trimmed it down to 11.5 by 11.5. And then when I started with my sketch, it had the center layer on there, and I didn't want to cover up all of this Designer Series paper, so I got the idea to cut the center out. Well, it works much better if you wait before you trim the edges, because I wanted this to be a little bigger, but it is what it is. It ended up being 7.5 by 7.5 cut in the center, and then I layered in a 7 by 7 piece of basic white. Let's see, here's another strip of that Designer Series paper. This piece of glimmer paper, let's see, oh, I don't have my Casing Tuesday project here. Anyway, this is what was left after I trimmed my piece of glimmer paper for my Casing Tuesday project. The link back to that blog post is in today's blog post for this. So here's that other die that I was telling you about. So when you die cut this label, this centerpiece comes out. So I ended up die cutting this twice, once in black, once in white, and then just layered the white in it so that I could put on my little bit of journaling there. But like I said, I love everything about this layout. There's some of the in color shimmer gems on there that just, to me, coordinate so well with that glimmer paper. But, oh, her little face, I just love her. So there's my layout. And here's what we're going to do today. Both of the cards are fun fold. Here is the first one. And you untie this, and you have a Z fold, and then the rest of the card. I know the first time I saw this, it was like, what? So there's that card. And of course, more of that designer series paper on the envelope. And my absolute favorite fun fold in the entire world, it's 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you cut off 2 3/4 of the, trim it off the front, and then there's the inside. So let's get this ball rolling. We'll start with that white card first. You actually start with 2 card bases. They're both cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and they're scored at 4 1/4, and one of them you're also going to score at the 2 1/8 to make your Z fold. And I've got some extra pieces here. I ended up cutting those out twice. And then let's go ahead and decorate our envelope first. We'll have that out of the way. So this was just a scrap. It was 2 1/4 by 12, and I used the first half on that envelope. So we're just going to come in and add some adhesive to the envelope flap. And then I'm going to add my designer series paper. I'm just going to lay that on. And at 2 1/4, it just barely covers that curve on the envelope, but it's the perfect way to use up your scraps. Over here, and to me, it just finishes off the project. It just ties everything all together. Around that corner. There. So, got the hard part done. Now, this is our one that's only scored at 4 1/4. And I'm using basic white, primarily because with the 2 card bases, the thick basic white would make it too heavy. Okay. So I'm going to come in here. And this is the one that's going to be the Z fold on top. Okay. Now, so this is basically going to fit on the inside like so. So I want to use some liquid glue. Just lay that in here at the fold. There we go. Now we'll fold our top flap down and we'll add our layers. So you've got 3 pieces of designer series paper cut at 2 inches by 5 3/8. I'll just lay these down. I'm going to lay one on the front, like so. And I'll lay one on the inside of that Z fold. like so. Come on. You could use liquid glue on this part too. There we go. Lay that down. And you're also going to lay one on that front flap. Right about there. Okay. Now you have two pieces at 2 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this is going to come over and lay right there. Okay. And this piece is going to lay on the inside where your sentiment is going to go, right here. And this piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And it's going to go on the left side. So there's our card base. Pretty cute, huh? Okay, so now let's do our stamping. I'm going to use, my ribbon is the silver and white, that sheer ribbon. I could have used any of the in colors, but I wanted something that didn't take away from the card base itself. Okay, so I'm going to use Petunia Pop for my ink color. And we have this one, this one, this one. Okay, so I'm going to stamp hello on one of these, just right. I want to keep it kind of towards the right edge. It's kind of hard to see with the glare of the lights. Okay, and let's clean that off. Okay, now I'm going to stamp friend on another one. And this guy just barely fits on here. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp Feel Better Soon. And that's going to go right here. There we go. Now we'll put it all together. Okay. So this guy is going to go here, and I'm just going to add some dimensionals. I'm going to put him right about there. And this one, I'm going to use some dimensionals. It was from a paper pumpkin. And this way I can layer this over my ribbon. Okay. Always hang on to those paper pumpkin dimensionals. They come in handy at some point or another if you don't use them up. Okay, so I want a long enough piece to be able to tie a bow. Gonna lay this down like so. And yes, this piece is really long, but that way I know I'm going to get a good bow out of it. This ribbon is very, I'll use the word filmy. It's beautiful. Okay, let's fix him a little bit. Okay. There we go. Bring him down. straighten him out a little bit. We'll add him to the front and get that backing off. And that'll sit right over the ribbon. Now, this little guy right here, I'm going to add a little bit more glue. Right there. I'm going to add him to my label. And then we're going to add some of those In Color shimmer gems. These are so pretty. Look at all that shimmer. So they're in Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Summer Splash, you know that's my favorite color, Shy Shamrock, and Peach Pie. So this guy, I'm going to use the Summer Splash, because that is Summer Splash cardstock. And I'm just going to add some of the Pretty in Pink in here. There we go. We're going to put one more down here. There, we're all done. I didn't need those extra ones after all. Truth be told is I cut a set of them last night, and then when I came in this morning to finish, I forgot that I'd already die cut them. Okay, there's our first card. And you thought that one was going to be difficult, huh? It makes it really easy if you just put down all your layers first, then stamp, and then add your front. The label in the front. There we go. So there's those two cards. Now we'll start this one. The colors for this card, I know I'm going to need these. Let's leave this out. Are Peach Pie, As Your Afternoon, and of course Basic White. Let's set that aside. Okay. So I'm going to attach all my layers first. So this one is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. This is 2 1/2 by 4. So this way. And we'll add him to the front. This is, you're going to have your 2 3/4 inches here. And this layer will lay right on that front edge. Okay, just like so. These pieces are going to get attached. And I'm going to add a piece of that Peach Pie ribbon. Uh-oh. That's too long. Hang on a minute. Let me grab my trimmer. Okay. So this needs to be 3 3/4. Okay. Let's take him off of there. He'll lay right on that As Your Afternoon. I thought those colors went really well together. So now, let's add the ribbon first. And here's some of that Peach Pie ribbon. So I'm just going to add it to one side. Let's see, I'm not sure if there's a front and a back, but we'll go with this one. And I'm just going to lay that piece into the adhesive, if I can pick it up. Okay, like so. Make sure it's straight. We'll cut this. We'll lay him down here. And now this is important. You only want to add adhesive to the back on the left side, because you don't want to glue your card shut. So it's going to fit over it like this. Okay. Now, we'll do this guy first. So this is a birthday card, and let's see, get the rest of these guys out. Why not? Get everything out here. I'm going to need this because I'm going to be stamping off my flowers. So we're going to stamp Happy Birthday right here. And we're going to use As Your Afternoon. And then I'm just going to stamp him right there. Okay. Go. Now I'm going to stamp that flower. We're going to stamp it in Peach Pie, but we're going to stamp off so that it doesn't overpower the sentiment. Just going to add him right there. Okay. Now we're going to add him to the card base with dimensionals. And then we'll glue on that little lacy piece to the front. I got a mess going on here again. I know, what else is new? Okay, we're going to put him kind of at a diagonal. I like that. Let's add our little faux bow here. Let's move that out of the way. I'm going to slip that under that ribbon. Ooh, I cut it kind of short, didn't I? Okay. There we go. Okay, now we'll add this guy. And I'm only going to put a little bit of glue right where those, well, let's put one here too. You could run this, attach your cardstock to our adhesive sheets, but of course, I didn't think about that at the time. I'm just going to attach this guy right like so. Okay. There we go. Now add some sparkle. Add that there. I'm going to put one here and one here. So our card front is done. Those gems are really pretty. Okay, so now for this guy, we'll stamp the sentiment. Now remember, when you're stamping the white, your inside, you want to keep your stamping within this area so that you don't see it when the card is closed. Okay. Stamp him right about here. And then I'm going to stamp the outline in the As Your Afternoon, and I'm not stamping him off. Isn't that a pretty flower? Oh, I should do the envelope too while we're doing this. The envelope's right here. Okay, now we're going to stamp the solid image for the center in the peach pie, but we're going to stamp off. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Love it, love it, love it, love it. And we'll do it on this guy. Now let's get him more coverage. And then I'll show you where I'm lining my stamp up at. Okay. So you see this little point right here? I use that as my reference to add both stamps. So hope that helps you. Okay, let's put him down and we'll attach him to our blue layer. And we will be done. No chaos this week. It almost seems boring compared to last week. We had our surprise visitors. Okay. And this fits in here. I should give you the measurements. These are 4 by 5 1/4. And the white is 3 3/4 by 5. So we're done. That went really smoothly, all except for the fact that I had to get my trimmer, but that's okay. Let's clean up the mess here so you can see what's going on. Okay, there's our second fun fold card. Because that's a little bit darker. They both look good. And then our card in a card. Get that open. Isn't that pretty? We'll tie this back up. And when you create this and you trim your ribbon, you want to keep the tails a little bit long so that whoever gets it can tie it back up if they would like. Maybe. Hang on. Okay. Well, the video did go smooth. Okay, tuck him in there. It's hard to feel that second layer. See, everybody struggles with bows every now and again. And I did so well. All right, come on, we're going to get it this time. There we go. And it's all in how you fluff it at the end. Okay, there's that. And of course, our pretty layout. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little bit of time with me. If you're watching the replay on my YouTube, I would love it if you gave my video a thumbs up. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. I hope you have a really good week. I've got the information on today's blog post about that fabulous starter kit special that talks about everything you'll get free on top of your $125 worth of product. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text, an email, and I'll get back to you. Have a great rest of your day and take care. Bye.